Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Pete's Premium Parlay Show for NFL Week 15. Took a couple weeks off, but I'm back now. And overall on the year, I am positive, which makes me very relieved inside. It's just embarrassing to be negative, but right now, I'm positive. So overall, handicapping been on fleek in these shows. Right now, plus 332. And with a base of $100, plus 18.5% ROI. That is fine for me. So hopefully I can just maintain it, keep it on fleek, and just wind up positive at the end of the year. All right, NFL Week 15. First, let's get to the stuff from Brent, the sharp stuff from Brent from BetDSI this week. Buffalo plus 5, kind of obvious. In the call, I predicted it. I said this seems obvious that this would be a sharp side. Right now it's plus 4 at BetDSI. And, Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com also acknowledged that Green Bay be a public play. I previewed the game with him. He liked Green Bay minus 4. And it does seem a little bit fishy to me. Probably there is some value there, at 5, maybe still at 4. But it seems like small value, and so I'm going to pass on that one. Then also another side that Brent said was definitely sharp was Minnesota plus 8, and I actually previewed that game also with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. At that time, the line was plus 8, and he also liked Minnesota at plus 8. So that is the way I would go. Maybe I'll bet it. Right now it's down to plus 7, but so that was a borderline one. Duffy recommended it. Brent told us it was a definite sharp side, Minnesota plus 8. And then also the Jets minus 2, definite sharp side according to Brent. And that makes sense to me. That was also borderline. Tennessee is just in complete disarray right now. And I almost took Jets at minus 3. Minus 2 was a sharp side. And also Brent told me that the Saints are sharp and public side on Monday night, and that makes sense. Another borderline one. Just kind of not sure what to make of Chicago. They have all those mental things going on right now. First they insulted Cutler, then they apologized. They do have a ton of talent. That's always possible for an explosion. Monday night underdog. It was borderline, but I trust Brent that the Saints were the sharp side. All right, other borderline picks that I decided not to include. Probably the most borderline one was Oakland KC under. Right now 41.5. Line hasn't really moved. Seems a little obvious. Maybe KC will open up their offense and somehow the game will wind up at 44. I considered under 41.5. I considered taking under 43 at minus 140. Very borderline, but at the last second, just my gut told me, maybe hold off. I kind of like it. Think it's the right side, but I guess you just never know what's going to happen with if KC opens their offense up, then things could take a turn for the unexpected in this game. So I decided to hold off on that one. Another borderline one was Pitt Atlanta over, and Kyle Hunter from HunterSportsPicks.com, who's been killing it in the NFL with us. When he previewed the game with me, it was 54. He said he liked the over in that one. He's 5-1 in his 6 free picks in the NFL. He's been beating the NFL pretty long term this year, and I considered it when right now it's 55.5, 1.5 higher. So probably it still has a little bit of value, even at 55.5, but just not quite enough for me to want to include it in the parlay. And then also a couple totals that were recommended by handicappers who have both had great years with us in the NFL. Justin Batt from Illuminati Sports, who's 21-11 in the games that he's covered with us this year. He said he liked the under in Washington Giants, and that was the way I was leaning as well. Still 47. Again, probably, I'd probably bet that minorly and probably decent value there, but just a little bit too borderline for me to include. But he liked the play, and I agree with him. And then Brandon Shively, who's done well in college and NFL with us this year, likes the over 49 in Houston, Indianapolis. That's an interesting one, and that was borderline for me as well. Just a little bit too high of a total. But, in Indianapolis has been a big overtrender this year, but sometimes they wind up unexpectedly going lower. So, if this were, a bit lower, maybe I would have definitely included it. But at 49, I decided to pass, at least for the purposes of the parlay this week. And then the final borderline one that I considered was recommended by Al McMorty. Al McMorty has also been great with us this year, 13-7 in the NFL. He liked New England at -7.5, and New England, of course, been killing it against the spread. They're now down to -7, -115, so that was very tempting. Brent did tell me that he took pseudo-sharp action on Miami at +8, but I definitely trust Al McMorty liking New England, and at -7, -115, very tempting, but I'm thinking maybe Miami's just a bit too dangerous. They're kind of in a do-or-die situation in this game. 7's kind of a lot. New England -7 probably is the right side. I trust Al McMorty, but just a little bit too borderline for me to take. All right, so let's get to the sides I did take. I wound up with 5 legs this week. I'm going to do a round robin of 4-teamers with a $20 base. Okay, the first one may be a little obvious. I'm a little bit surprised we haven't heard more about it, or at least I haven't heard more about it this week, and that's Indianapolis over Houston, right? They're -6.5, -115 right now, and the money line is -290. I'm going to take them on the money line, -290, chicken out a little bit. But, Jeff Cadillac, that was one of his top picks this week, and, Indy just seems like they have a big solid edge over Houston at home. They've been a good bet in general, and I'll chicken out a little bit, but I trust in luck, and I'll take the money line -290 for the first leg. Then the second leg, I am going to take Carolina on the money line. Right now they're a -3, -120, and the money line is just -165. I previewed that game with Troy West from allplayswin.com before Cam Newton was injured, and he liked Carolina at -5.5. And at the current line, I am going to take a shot with Carolina at -165. Derek Anderson is decent, of course, and Tampa Bay is having all kinds of issues, as we know, and they're banged up on defense. They don't have much of a running game at all. They don't have much at tight end. Their quarterback, they have questions at quarterback. So adding it all up, Cam Newton's out. That's not great, but I think it's a good situation. Carolina improving a little bit at just -165. That'll be my second leg in the parlay this week. Then the third and fourth legs are both going to come from the Denver-San Diego game. And I previewed this game with Troy West from allplayswin.com. He gave a very good reasoning for liking the under 50.5, and I trust Troy West on that one. He's 18-11 against the spread in the NFL this year with us, and I'm going to tail him on that one. Denver-San Diego under 50.5. We know that San Diego tends to play a keep-away style of ball when they face Denver, and those games do tend to sneak under the usually high totals. And we know that Denver's been running a lot recently. It's kind of a change in their game plan, running a lot more, taking chances with Peyton a lot less, and it's a high total. So probably the game gets into the 40s, but I'll take a shot with Denver, San Diego under 50.5, and that is going to be a tail of Troy West. And then I'm also going to take Denver, not -4, but on the money line, -195. San Diego, of course, 1-7 against spread over their last 8. Just been a great team to bet against recently, and one way or another, I think that Denver should be able to get it done. Maybe they'll get a blowout, maybe they'll struggle a little bit, but at -195, I'll take Denver on the money line for the fourth leg. And then the fifth leg of the parlay I'm going to take this week is a play that jumped out at me kind of from the get-go this week, and that's Dallas. Right now, +3, +105 is the line at BetDSI. We know the situation here, right? Dallas got beat at home by Philly very recently. Revenge game. They have extra rest. I am countering Indian Cowboy, though. Indian Cowboy is the one who I previewed that game with, and he said he likes Philly -3, but I see he's been pretty mediocre in the NFL, at least in our videos this year, so I'm okay going against Indian Cowboy, and this was a game, a situation, and a line that jumped out at me from the start, and haven't heard much one way or another besides my preview with Indian Cowboy, but that's going to be my fifth leg of the parlay. Dallas +3, +105 currently at BetDSI. So those are the 5 legs. Indianapolis, moneyline, -290. Denver, moneyline, -195. Denver, San Diego, under 50.5. Carolina, moneyline, -165, and Dallas, +3, +105. That's a 5-teamer. I'm going to do round robins of 4 teams, $20 base, $100 to win, $677.21 if all 5 win, and if just 4 legs win, it'll still win a little bit. And that's the Pete's Premium Parlay for NFL Week 15.